What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here. Welcome you back to the channel. Today we're jumping back into more Vanguard Zero, and it is day 2. It's actually the evening now by the time I'm uploading this, but I wanted to go ahead and follow up on yesterday's video where we talked about day 1, experienced, re-rolling, all that good stuff. And I want to say thank you guys so much for the support on that video, and thank you so much for tweeting me all your polls. I've been responding to some of you, letting you know if you should keep an account, delete an account. My rule of thumb obviously was 6 triple R's, and I got that from Different Fight, and I agree with it. I hold to it. Some of you guys got 9 triple R's, which just, that's black magic, and I want you to give me some. So what I want to do today is kind of talk about what you should be doing, right? It's early on in our experience with Vanguard Zero, and the number one thing you should be doing, and if you watch Different Fight's video, he talked about this, but he didn't go crazy in depth on it. And I kind of want to, I'm gonna be real with you. I just want to vent. Because these are character fights, and this is gonna be your main way of getting new cards unless you're a whale. Once you run out of gem grinding and ticket grinding, this is gonna be the way you kind of zone in and craft cards. You get crafting materials from doing character fights in Vanguard Zero. You only get to do 5 per day on hard and very hard. Now, the way you unlock these subsequent levels, well, the way you unlock them is by increasing your friendship level, right? But what you want to do is you want to complete the missions. The missions will make it so you can quick fight once you're at grade 12 on your account, which by this point, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, maybe not, but you'll get to grade 12 pretty quickly if you're playing the game just by doing the missions on the top left up here. You see I'm grade 20 right now. Some of you guys are already grade 30, which is the max level in the game. So what quick fight allows you to do, quick fight just says, hey, you know what? You want to fight me? Let's fight. And you just punch each other in the face real quick. You always win it. You get the drops, which are going to be your crafting items. If you click craft action, the bottom of this screen, which I really love the convenience, it'll bring you right to the crafting page. I like to go ahead and do all so I can see which cards I don't own. And if we go to like grade 3s, for example, you can see I might need to craft myself a little bit of a solitary knight. I don't have the materials for it. I will get these materials by doing character fights. So the way you unlock it, a way you unlock is increasing your friendship level, which you have to beat him over and over again. Beat whichever character you want to fight. Bring us back to character fights, my man. And the problem is, the venting part is that when it says very hard down here, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. They cheat. They basically, on hard, all of your opponent's units get an extra 1,000 power. And then on very hard, they get 2,000. So Vanguard is a game about columns. If you're new to Vanguard, one of the things you really do is try to build the proper columns. So in this game right now, I don't want to speak too much on it because there are some 11K Vanguards, specifically in, I believe it's Kagero, I believe has it. I'm not positive. Kagero? Not Kagero. What is a Kagero? Kagero. So the proper column then would be 11Ks, 16Ks, 21Ks. This game is a little different though, and I kind of do want to, I'll probably make a follow-up video talking about, now that I've been playing the game for hours and hours, the differences in this game, they are good, but they really do change some of the fundamentals of Vanguard to me, specifically with columns and the fact that you gain 5K every time you get attacked. To me, it decreases the value of stand triggers, and I'd love to have that conversation with someone who's more experienced in Vanguard than me, but I feel like stand triggers have lost so much value for me in this game, where stand triggers used to be some of my favorite because I just love being able to get those extra attacks in. But now that every time you take damage, you gain 5K power, stand triggers are a little weak. So anyway, you really want to do your best to get this going, to get very hard going. For me, Royals was my clan of choice because that was the most triple R's I had. Was in that clan. It's like, all right, let me work on this first. However, I ended up realizing that in Oracle Think Tank, I actually had like three perfect guards already, which is the amount apparently that everyone runs online. They don't run 4. 4 is too many with this game apparently. 3 is the sweet spot. Probably debatable, but to me it seems like that makes a lot of sense. So I actually ended up getting all of her missions done as well. And there really is no secret trick, right? It's you do got to get a little lucky. You got to have that Vanguard spirit and have your triggers pop correctly in order to really take advantage and complete the missions. Something I will say is that on almost everything past, even I think for Oracle Think Tank on normal, I think I had to do at least 2 battles with her in order to complete her missions. Don't expect, very easy and easy are pretty simple to go ahead and grab all 3 stars in one battle, which is great, because then you can quick fight if you're grade level 12. But I know for a fact on hard, it took me a while before I could do that. And you guys can see, I only have 3 more fights with her. So I'm thinking that the best, I don't have enough stamina for this, LOL. But I'm thinking the best thing you can do with your stamina once you could, I haven't finished the story obviously, but once you finish the story and you're all good on that front, you should be maxing out your hards and very hards on whatever clans you're chasing cards for. So whatever you want to build with. For me, I really do love Oracle Think Tank. I think it's gonna be the clan that I show off first on the channel for sure, because it's a lot of fun. There's so much draw power in that clan and I like it a ton. So I'll probably show that off. But really, whatever clan you focused in on with your rerolls, with your triple Rs, or maybe just the clan you happen to whale out, and this is the one that's benefiting the most from your money, focus in on that. Maybe for me, I want to try to craft all the best cards that I can from each clan. I think I'm pretty much done opening packs for this set. I think I'm just gonna work on crafting over the next few weeks. Obviously, it's gonna take some time, but I want that. I want a game. And let me tell you honestly, when I finished very hard and I actually beat it and got all the missions done, because the hardest mission is winning with 4 damage or less. When the only true tip I have is when you're versing these, and I think that this tip might stand for even when you're just playing Vanguard in general, but you need to run 4 heals in these decks when you're versing these characters on very hard, because you do need to hit those heal triggers. Another thing that I found was really useful was playing Royals and using a Blaster Blade, right? Blaster Blade. I'm still trying to remember all the names, right? I'm definitely behind on that 100%, so forgive me. But the 2-drop that will go ahead and you can counterblast 2 to kill 2. This card is super useful in swinging tempo against those very hard. Blaster Blade. And there's one like this in Kagero as well, I believe. But being able to make this card essentially a 2-for-1, where it'll take out a grade 2 interceptor and then you can also attack into a grade 2 interceptor with it, as long as it is boosted, then that will help you by miles. At the very least, I can speak to the Royal Paladin fight, because that I have completed on very hard. It helped so much having this 2-for-1. So I saved all my counterblasts for this. I didn't even use my starting Vanguard's effect to counterblast 1 and get a Blaster Blade from the deck, because I needed to make sure. I think I actually activated 3 of these in the game that I won with 4 life because I healed twice. So I did get lucky for sure. So don't get too frustrated if you find yourself getting stuck on that. It is a very important thing to do, is to get those character fights. And if you get them, can you tweet me pictures of your account with them? Because it'll make me proud. The Shady people are making waves and getting those done. Because it really took me hours. It literally took me hours of fighting him in order to get it done. And if there's an easier way, someone in the comments can let us know and can update the Shady people, give us that information. But for now, it was just a grind. Obviously, work through your grades, right? That's what you want to be doing today. Today is character fights and grades. Once we max out our grades and we're done, we're going to be all in on grinding out the PvP. That's going to be the goal. If some of you guys are jumping on PvP now, send me your decks. I'm just curious as to what you're running. I actually think in the spirits, I haven't played too much PvP, but we're going to jump right into a PvP match. Actually, no, because I want to make this video informative for you guys. So some of you guys have been asking, like, how do I know what cards are good? How do I know what I should be looking for? So I spoke to a little bit on, you're going to want to build columns. And what does that mean in the deck building process? Let's just choose Royal Paladins. So what does that mean in the deck building process? Well, it means that you want to know which combinations of your cards, so with which 1-drops with which 2 and 3 drops are going to give you those sweet spot columns in the current meta. So for example, if I am using, let's see, I'm fond of this card a little bit. When your card is put into your soul during your main phase, this unit gets plus 3,000 on a turn. That happens even when it's boosting. So I actually like that because it obviously synergizes with our starting Vanguard that I normally go with, the High Beast, Barkle. So I do like this. So this is normally a 6K, right? Which means that if I want to hit that sweet spot of 16, I need a 10K. So that means that any 2-drops that are 10K, which I think is just going to be the vanilla in this clan. Yes, that means that I value this. I value this vanilla because it can build that sweet spot column for me that I like. Obviously 16K, they're versing a lot of clans. 15K will be enough, but obviously because Kagero has the 11K Vanguards, and I'm not sure if anyone else does in this game yet, but it's going to be common in the future. So 16 is that sweet spot number that you want to make sure, hey, I can get at least 2 attacks in. Now that we have the fact that we gain power when we take damage, it's not going to be as critical, but I think the columns are still important. So that's one of the #1 things you're gonna look for when you're deck building. It's like the most basic thing, honestly. Then beyond that, you're just gonna, depending on what clan you're looking at, you wanna look for some synergies. I like to go to the grade 3s and see if there's anything really, really powerful that someone does. For example, Gansalot, if Blaster Blade is in your soul, you can counterblast 2 and gain 5k in a crit. That's a really, really good effect. That's why he's only a 9k Vanguard. So he's a little bit weaker on the power side, but he has potential, he's a built-in crit, which is really, really cool. So I do like that. You could build a deck focusing on that. That would mean you want to use the 4 Blaster Blades that we saw over here. And luckily we're getting these for free, these Blaster Blades. So if your account pulled one, it's a little bit of tears. It just becomes compository material. Compository, what a word, Shady. So if we're gonna do that, maybe we'll throw these in here, but I only have 2 of these, right? So I might not build a whole deck around it. This is also, at the same time, this is another Blaster Blade Soul Synergy Vanguard. When a place, call a Blaster Blade from your soul. And this was actually what I ran when I versed the Cardfight super hard, because being able to play that, and I didn't activate its effect the first time, but knowing like, hey, I have a grade 2 waiting for me in my soul is so good. I think it's so good. So I definitely like Alfred a ton. So I would probably, if I'm making a deck like this, I wanna focus on that synergy, that's fine. Then when it comes to the rest of your grade 3s, it's a little backwards. I like to start with the powerhouses and see what I need to do to work down to them. Maybe you guys build differently, but that's how I build. Now it's gonna come down to, hey, what Vanguard do we, what 3 drop do we have 4 of that we're gonna make our heal trigger? This is another good Vanguard that I like. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, it gains 3k, so it can help you, it's column fixing. It's built-in column fixing. Now, because this goes to 13k automatically, that means that even if you get boosted by a 3k, you're at that 16, but we're close enough at 13k where it's like, okay, do I have any chance of getting to 21, the next sweet spot? So you would need an 8k boost. So let's go to our 1-drops and see if there's any 8k boosts. I actually don't think there are. Off the top of my head, there are not. That would be pretty busted. Now there's gonna be units that can gain power, right? So when this unit attacks, that's not what you want. When this unit boosts an Alfred. So the card we were looking at was an Alfred, so that's not gonna apply. However, because this is building Alfred, you potentially could run this, because if we Soul Blast 1, this gains 4k, and that's gonna bring this to a 20k column, which against most clans is good. This ended up being a very column heavy video, but I know some of you guys really wanna learn how to build decks, and this is like the foundational information that you're gonna need. More foundational information is that if you have them, running 3 perfect guards is great. I only have 1 in Royal Paladin right now. I don't wanna waste crafting on it, because in this game, you get, they're called Sentinel medals, I believe, and you can just get random, or you can get perfect guards of your choice. I'm assuming it's gonna be of your choice, because my other clans already have 3 of each. I happened to pull 3 of each of those. Actually, I did craft 1 Oracle Think Tank perfect guard before learning about the Sentinel medals, which is a little sad for me, but it is what it is. So you can grind out perfect guards by playing PvP, because you get the Sentinel medals when you gain VP throughout the season. And that resets every season, different fight had said. So that's like some basics. When it comes to triggers, it's gonna be really dependent on your playstyle, but the one thing I will say is that you should be running at least 3 heal triggers, I think. I run 4, but I remember the arguments of like, you should just run 3, it doesn't matter. I like 4, but I would run at least 3 heal triggers in any deck, because that clutch heal, being able to play a game into 7 or 8 damage is so good. It literally, think about it. Every time you heal 1, you increase your life by like 15%, because you went from 6 to 7 in a normal game. And if you go from 6 to 8, that's a 33% increase. Wait, that means the math doesn't work out. Yeah, it's like 16%. Yeah, so 30% increase if you heal twice in a game. So heals are so good, super, you need them, And then when it comes to crit draw, I like an even spread. Sometimes it depends on the deck. If it's a deck that I feel like I exhaust my hand quickly, I'll go heavier on the draw than the crit, because this game does feel so far to me just a lot about resource grinding and wanting your opponent to lose resources in their hand and on the board, and you want to maintain them. So drawing seems very, very strong. Stand triggers to me seem pretty weak, and I could be wrong, but they just don't feel that strong because of the passive power gain that you get. Normally it's like, if I'm gonna go attack, and then I stand and give something 5k, my opponent's Vanguard has already gained 10k. So stand triggers will be good for sniping out a front rear guard, but realistically, since interceptors in this game are automatic blockers, you're wiping them out anyway. Otherwise, you're not even attacking your opponent's Vanguard. So to me, stand triggers are the least valuable right now. That's how I view it. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong because I love stand triggers. So let me know in the comments down below. Those are the basics to deck building. Obviously, you can only have 13 of each card. The game tells you that, 13 of each grade. But everything else is just going to be choosing a clan and looking for synergy. Something really, really important when you're playing, remember your 1-drops. Like, don't undervalue your 1-drops. 2-drops, what I love about this game is that so far, from my play experience, every grade feels so important because they all fill that niche. And that's kind of what it always was. But now more so than ever, because you can dictate which triggers are on your grade 3s, like you can make every card in your deck valuable. And I really, really like that. So don't underestimate your grade 1s as boosters. Because so for example, when I was versing Kagero, it wasn't on very hard. I think it was just on hard. But I was using Kagero as well. And I rode over with the grade 2 that can snipe in the back row. And I sniped his booster that was on his Vanguard because I rode and then I sniped. And he did not recover from that. His Vanguard never got strong again, and it was beautiful. And it seems like that could be a common thing where 1-drops are undervalued by players. So if you can snipe out boosters or get rid of them, you're probably in really good shape. I'm just gonna delete this deck so I don't get confused later when I'm trying to play some PvP. But that's basic deck building advice. That's everything I've got for today. I just want to encourage you guys to get those card fights done. Work your way through the story, play some PvP, keep grinding out the materials so you can craft cards. Don't feel like you have to whale. Because so far to me, this game seems like as long as you're using your stamina and you're able to push through and get those very hards done on the card fights, on the character fights, I keep saying card fights, on the character fights, you're gonna be in super good shape when it comes to cards. You're gonna have a good time with this game for sure. In fact, let me go ahead and I have 3 times available on this. So if I quick fight, boop, boop, take care of that. This is like, this satisfies my mobile game love. Like the fact that I can just auto this, bam, got some good drops right there. Got some good drops. Oracle crystals, baby. That's used for crafting triple rares. It's the highest rarity. So we're in a good time getting 2 of those for that. And that was just on hard. So very hard, I believe, almost has such a high percentage of dropping that material that's where you want to be. So that's where I'm gonna work out Oracle Think Tank tonight on the missions. Hopefully I can go ahead and grind it out. I'm sorry, I don't want to know what's on your mind, Misaki. We're doing a video and you're awfully embarrassing for me right now. So that's gonna be it. That's all I got for you guys. Very quick video. Next week, we're gonna jump into some actual PvP action. I'd love to play some games with you guys, so keep an eye out on Twitter for that experience information. It'll probably happen on Twitch actually, but keep an eye out on Twitter because I'll announce when I'm going live with some Vanguard over there. With that, I'm gonna get the hashtag out of here. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you stick around on the channel for more Vanguard. Have yourselves a fantastic day, but above all else, keep it shady.